If you are feeling like you've got this pull toward a new life, towards some kind of big change, but there's something standing in your way, there's a block, there is a very good chance that you have an archetypal energy that is actually standing in the way. And the teacher Caroline Myss talks about these core archetypes that we have inside of us. All of us have them, that they're there to teach us, but they also are there. They form the energy of these blocks. And two of them that show up very commonly. The first one is the inner prostitute. And so that word, obviously evokes a certain image, but essentially what's happening there is, what are the ways in which you are sacrificing your soul for personal security? So this may be staying in a job that is killing you, that's sucking your soul, or even just is low grade bad, and you're doing it because of the money and the lifestyle or what have you. Same deal if you're staying in a relationship. A lot of people will stay in marriages because it's too costly to them in some way to move on, either because of their personal security, financially, whatever the case may be. Another archetype is the saboteur. So inside all of us, we have this energy that is actually holding us down. It is sabotaging ourselves. You've probably experienced that for yourself. And it's very confusing because it's like, I want to get there. And yet, for some reason, I am actually holding myself back. I felt this way back when I was struggling with my own form of addiction. And I couldn't understand it because it felt like I can see this thing is holding me down. And I can see that, I felt this incredible call. Like, I know that this is the direction that I'm meant to go. I know that I can be so much more. And yet there was this energy, this addictive personality energy that was sabotaging me. And I didn't understand it. And now looking back on that, I see that it was very much this archetypal energy. And as I understood the archetypal energy more, it became very clear to me why it was that was in existence and why it was that I moved through that. You could sabotage yourself in so many different ways. You can feel like, all right, every time I reach a certain level of success, I start to show up later, I don't fulfill, or I get, I procrastinate. That's a classic example of that. Gay Hendricks, the author, talks about that as an upper limit problem. Sometimes we get to a certain level and it starts to feel uncomfortable to us because it's not our familiar territory. And so even though it looks good, even though it's actually what we want, we end up knocking ourselves down a few pegs because there's almost just our nervous system is more comfortable with this lower level of being. And so that is an example of the inner saboteur at work. So I encourage you to get comfortable with understanding archetypal energies because I found a ton of value myself. And I see that is often a big part of the patterns that are holding people back from achieving that next level.